one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Now we can agree.
Will you get a minute to shut the door? Well, whatever.
All right. In order for us to get through this meeting, it's going to be very important that everybody respects everybody else. So please, when it's your turn to talk, you talk. Otherwise, we listen. Okay?
We're going to be taking from the podium.
Right. First of all, we're going to change our meeting around, so your questions will be asked before we vote on anything. We're going to do that ahead of time. You know our board members here. We also have our attorney here, Michael Schifrin. He's here to talk to everybody. We want to make sure we're doing things right, okay? So at this time,
Michael's going to have that.
we're going to have Michael say a few words.
Come on over here.
Good morning. Great to see all of you, meet all of you. It's tremendous to see so many wonderful people out. It's always great to have involvement from members of community associations such as yours, even if it's under challenging circumstances. So it's still great to see everybody, and thank you all for coming out. Just wanted to go over a couple of housekeeping rules preliminarily so that we can keep the meeting orderly and that we can get through the meeting so that everybody's not here all day. You all have wonderful things to do on this beautiful Sunday, so we don't want to keep you here all day. We're going to just ask that everybody please be respectful and courteous to one another. The board members ask that when you're speaking, you go over there to the microphone right over there. Please form a line. Everybody's going to be given 2 minutes to ask their questions or make their comments. It's right up behind us on the screen. Again, what's that? Can you hear me? No. The 2 minutes is just so that everybody that wants to ask questions or make comments has that opportunity. That's why there's a 2-minute restriction. One question per person, please, again, so that we can get through anyone and everybody that has questions and wants to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about.
Right.
Yeah, if the question's already been asked and answered, we'll kindly remind you that it's already been asked and answered, just so that you're aware of it, give you the opportunity to ask a different question. Just so we can keep this orderly, so we can get through it, so everybody has a chance to speak, and then we'll move forward with the board meeting after that. Again, thank you all for coming. It is so great to see so many people here at a meeting like this, so thank you.
One more comment. We'll try to answer the questions now. We're going to vote yay or nay on the proposed budget in the general meeting. So if we don't give you an answer, we don't have an answer. Okay, there's times that we're not going to have an answer for you. And if there's questions that are pertaining to any lawsuits or pending litigation, we will not be answering them. So don't get angry at us. We cannot answer them questions. Our attorney, no, we cannot. Thank you. Second thing, if you're not going to be courteous, we're going to ask you to leave. If you don't leave, we will remove you from here. Be courteous to us. We're being courteous to you. We're allowing you to talk before our meeting. This is in the Illinois Condo Association Act. This is not necessary. But I do want to hear from you. I care what you have to say. Okay? Thank you.
And we should limit the questions to budget-related material.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so you can start forming a line if you want to ask questions.
Lot owners only.
Lot owners only, that's all it should be here. And these questions are to pertain. Quiet! The questions are to pertain to the budget. When you go up there, please state your name and your lot number and ask your question. Thank you.
And at the end of 2 minutes, that's it.
So the question's already been raised. I'll introduce the board members. Got Jerry, got Carrie, myself is Jim, Terry, Dave, and Brian is somewhere.
By the microphone.
Brian's by the microphone. Okay? Thank you.
Just introducing you.
Sit.
Go ahead, we'll entertain the first question. Talking to the mic closer, please.
How much fidelity bond insurance do you guys have? How much
We're trying to get it turned up, I think.
Probably enough to cover all the
fidelity bond
association's
insurance?
finances, but I don't know the answer for sure.
What's the
You may
amount?
not know the answer. It's okay if you don't know the answer.
If you don't know the exact answer, you don't know the exact.
We really don't know, I know we have one, I really don't know the answer to that. We would have to, we'd have,
But you cover all the association's
it should be, it's enough to cover all the
Association.
association's funds and every, right?
So
Yeah.
for people who don't know, fidelity bond insurance is what covers an association when there's fraud, embezzlement by an employee of the condo association. So if we don't know that, that's a problem. We should know that. Everybody should have a copy of what the condo association's certificate of liability is. General liability, fidelity bond insurance, if we don't
All right, we don't have that answer for you.
Okay,
All right,
And
so
is a budget
we'll try to
question,
find it
please?
out for you.
would you be able to post that on our website, being that you post other things on the website that are really public?
We will check. All right, thank you. Sorry.
And could we ask everybody to silence your phones, please? It's just very confusing when they start ringing. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mary Rainey. I'm a lot owner for 842 and 843. I'd like to know why we have this huge budget increase. Lot owners weren't a part of the committee to be on this to help solve this problem.
Maybe, why don't you take a moment to explain the reasons why you're having the budget increase? Why don't you just talk about that so everybody understands the reasons for it? And that's, and thank you for the question. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mary. First of all, there's been numerous years that the association never did raise the fees. I understand,
Hold
please.
on.
Okay, the capital reserves are underfunded by law. These have to be, pardon me?
That wasn't the question.
Okay, can we listen?
Okay, here's a warning, okay, here's a warning. You asked why the budget's going up, okay?
So I asked why you didn't have a committee consisting of both lot owners and board members.
Okay, so,
Can I just say one thing real quick? The board members are lot owners.
Absolutely.
So that's all that's on the committee. It doesn't,
When there should have been some of us.
no, it doesn't. It never has, and I don't think it has to be.
No.
We are lot owners just like you. Anything we do to you, the same thing happens to us. We don't like dues going up either. But we fortunately have the opportunity to see what is all needed in the park. So that's where we come up with why things have to be raised.
We have a responsibility. to
and
take
thank
care
you,
of
Mary.
that.
I would consider putting a couple people on for a budget committee in the near future, yes. Okay, what we're going through right now is a lot of it is still confidential, and if I open it up, you would know. It is all confidential, you're right, it's all. But,
The proposed budget, I've seen multiple items listed under several different categories of expenses.
okay, thank you.
You know what, people on YouTube can't hear anything, that's what I'm being told, so I don't know if you need to speak up louder or what, but there's a lot of people watching on YouTube and they can't hear the questions and answers.
Pam,
Pam Stagg, sorry.
we can hear you.
Pam Stagg, Lot 1264. Question I have is, can we get a list of how many paid positions, no names, and what those positions are, and how many employees we have paid for those positions for this year, and what the projected positions are for next year? So a list of the positions, the employees for those positions, both this year and then projected for next year, in writing.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, we can get that for you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jeannie Knappy, 1148 and 1440. Question, do we have a written employment contract with our park manager, Brian?
Yes,
Yes,
And how many years is it?
it's a 2-year contract. It was voted in open meeting.
Yes,
Thank you.
but I don't remember the.
Okay,
legality.
it's 2 years.
Is this also the intent of the board for hiring a recreational director? To have an employment contract for X amount of years?
Ryan?
No, there'll be no contract for the position.
Okay, but it is a hired position.
Yes.
And
We had a rec director years ago as well.
so, my question is, with having a paid park manager and now a recreational park manager, which it entailed in your email that they will be in charge of things like facilities, sewer, this, that, stuff like that. What does the park manager job entail?
It has
If
nothing to
it's
do
not
with the
going to
sewer.
include,
It's helping us with the facilities, the management. They're gonna be in charge of the rentals, setting up for meetings, the bathroom facilities. It's going to be not just a recreation, it's going to be helping enhance this park.
okay,
And
so,
helping us build something towards our capital asset plan.
This is not a new position. This position was handled by 2 women, one who has left the job already, and one who is going to be retiring at the end of this year. So it's not a new position. Park manager is not a new position. We had a park manager. We also had an office manager. The park manager resigned, I don't know, eons ago before I even came here. That was being handled by Vince. The office manager worked in the office only. He didn't take care of anything out on the streets. Okay? That was done by Vince. Brian was hired at a less salary and less, whatever you want, the other stuff.
Other components of his compensation?
Compensation, he has no compensation except the truck that everybody's been complaining about. That truck is not his, that belongs to Woodsmoke Ranch. That's a Woodsmoke Ranch vehicle, he's allowed to use it, and it's on a lease, on a purchase, on a long term. We did not spend $50,000 last year on that truck. That is on a term base. Thank you.
I understand that. So I guess my next question is,
Time's up.
No more questions. Yeah, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Onesimus Walter Seves. For 38 years, everyone pretty much knows me here as Wonderful Walk over at Lot 1324. The question I have for the board is, based at the budget that I look at has a couple of repetitious items that are being charged on the budget, such as the realty department, as well as a lot of bloated numbers that I personally see on this budget. I have appeared in just a short period of time to submit to the board. They will receive it. I have 40 lot owners, plus I have another 45 that will be emailing you shortly, that do not accept your 2024 budget or your increased proposal. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people on here who will be signing on shortly.
Thank you, Walt.
There's a head going around.
Thank you.
Okay?
I've accepted it. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Ray.
Good morning, board. Good morning, owners. My name is Ray Rodriguez. I'm at lot 990. I'm a legacy owner. My parents have been here since 1987. Just want to, with the budget information itself. So at the very top of it, you have $15,000 for uncollected lot debts. So again, in the bottom portion, you have other expenditures of an allowance of $70,000 for unpaid debt. Is this something that is going to be kept on the budget for annual budgets and $70,000 additional allowance for that, or is the Woodsmoke board going to write off the debt so it clears it from the financials so that the owners aren't bearing that over the future? And then the second part, real quick, so you can answer that, is the budget prepared by an outside third-party agency where they can give us current status as well as next year's proposed, so we can see the differences in each of the line items? Or is this something that's prepared in-house?
Okay, so your answer to your first question. Our attorney has been aggressively going after all outstanding debt. He's done a wonderful job on it. Thank you.
Yes.
Is that going to be carried? Ray, you know that some of it's probably going to have to be written off sometime. Not that we like to do that, but by law, we're going to have to eventually do that. Okay, because it's going to be uncollectible. We can't go in the grave and grab anybody's money out of their pocket because it's not allowed. Okay? Again, I don't like to keep repeating it. Mismanagement of the previous management is put us in this position, and we are aggressively moving in a different direction. Number two thing is, this was all done in-house. This was all done in-house. And I would love to entertain your suggestion for looking outside the perimeters to maybe working with our budget. But right now, yes, this was done in-house. Thank you.
I'm Nate Darrow, lot 57. Budgets published are just numbers on paper. When our owners can see actuals, so we can make informed decisions about the property that we own.
That'll be in the winter newsletter that will be mailed through the Postal Service, so you'll receive an email as long as we have your signature on it.
These are actual financials, so that we can understand the health of this organization.
Oh, that won't happen until after January 1st, but we are definitely working on it. We'll have it by March 1st, which is required by law.
When's it going to be published?
You'll get that in the fall paperwork. I mean spring, sorry, spring.
Spring will be out already, but
Yeah.
by that time, our portal's gonna be up and active, and all this stuff will be put on our portal.
How can we make a decision on a budget if we don't know actuals?
We haven't closed out the year yet. Year hasn't closed out, we can't do
You know
actuals.
exactly where you're at, and you're not telling us.
Sorry for that. Thank you.
We have a right to know.
Thank you. Next.
That was your answer, folks.
Hi, Viola, lot 960. My question is, do we know what the Illinois Condo Association allows as a maximum percentage for increasing the HOA?
Yes, I'll turn that over to the attorney.
Does it reach?
Can you hear me?
What is the maximum allowed by the Illinois Condo Association for an increase in an HOA? What percentage?
Great question. So there's no maximum, actually. The way it works is,
Let him speak, please.
Let him answer.
Thank you for your question too, by the way. There's no maximum, but when any board for any condominium association adopts a budget that exceeds 115% of the prior year's budget, which this one does, then it gives certain petition rights to the members to try to submit a petition to then challenge and subsequently overturn the budget.
Correct. So since the increase is over the 115%, why were we not notified that we had the right to do this?
There's no legal requirement that you be affirmatively notified of that, but it's
Okay, so when do you need that?
I'm sorry?
Because it's not yet January and we'd like to put that in place.
Yeah.
When does the petition need to be given to the board?
You have 21 days from after today.
Okay, everybody hear that? We need to get that petition running.
20%.
All right.
20%, everybody keep that in mind.
Right.
Thank you.
20% of lot owners have to be on that position in order for them to overturn the budget that they're gonna vote on today.
All right.
They may not vote, honestly, I'm not speaking for the board, but hopefully they do the right thing and table the budget so that you can actually hear what people are thinking. But that's on your decision today. I'm just saying, just everybody keep in mind, we have 21 days from today to do something as 20% of the entire lot owners gotta come together and not crazy. Gotta come together in some right way, tell your neighbors, tell everybody, we gotta get one form together and do this right.
Out of time.
20% of 1,400 is 280 of them.
Okay, next.
And I just gave them 50 signatures.
I have, Jim Rainey, 842.
Can't hear you. You got
Jim Rainey, lot 842. My question was, first of all, we're supposed to get an audit every year provided to us of all the expenses you guys spent down to the penny from the year before, and I don't think I've ever gotten that here, and that's Illinois law, that you're required to give that to us. I'm wondering when we can expect to get a detailed audit of last year's money spent. Also, it says in our bylaws that we're not allowed to have a paid member on the board unless 2/3 of the lot owners agree to it. We've never had a vote on that. It also says any capital expenditure over $10,000 need a 2/3 owners vote as well. And we haven't done any of that, which is against our Constitution and bylaws. So I'd like to know why we're not following our Constitution, bylaws, or Illinois state law as far as the budget goes.
All right. Thank you for your comments. Can you hear me? Thank you for your comments. No? Can you hear me?
Can we turn it up louder? No, it's up all the way. It's up all the way. Try that.
To the right.
Take this mic.
Is that better? There we go. Okay, thank you for your comments, all good comments. The Condominium Property Act gives the board's authority to levy assessments in any amounts if, without membership approval, if it's specifically for purposes of maintaining, repairing, or replacing common element property. If it's not something for an addition or an improvement, such as building a brand new swimming pool or building a brand new tennis court. The state law, the Condominium Property Act, supersedes your declaration and your bylaws to the event that there are any inconsistencies between them. I've been working carefully and closely with your board to ensure that they don't do anything improper, illegal, or that violates the Condominium Property Act. And I just want to remind everybody that they're all part of your community too. They're all trying to do what they believe to be in the best interest of this association, including levying assessments and a bigger budget, because there's been a lot of deferred maintenance in your community for a very long period of time that has been overlooked and ignored. And this is a very difficult decision for this board to make, knowing that they're going to sit up here and answer all these questions, but they're doing it because they recognize they have a fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interest of all of you, which includes themselves. So I appreciate your frustration. They appreciate your frustration. Everybody appreciates your frustration. But please know that they're genuinely acting in a manner that they believe to be in the best interest of this condominium association. And that's why they're doing this, and for no other reason.
Okay, I'm Sam Powell from 1203. First of all, I know everybody here loves this park. We want to keep this park going. And my question is, with the dues increase, did we get this increase because this park is going under? Are we going bankrupt? And please just answer us honestly. I don't need all this legal jargon. We're just regular folk. If you're honest with us, we will help you. But you gotta tell us, we will not have a problem paying if it's gonna help us get our park the way we need to keep it. But just tell us. We want the honest answers. You know, let's not be like the government treats us. They don't tell us nothing, but they want our money. But if you tell us, we will help you. Tell us the truth.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have an investment here. My
I
family.
know you guys do.
My-
That's why I know you'll be honest with me.
My family has
You'll be honest
investments.
with the truth.
Okay, can I speak now? Thank you.
Got it.
My family has investment here. I have family coming out today to make investments here. Are we going bankrupt? Absolutely not. I will work every single penny here to make this work. I did not run for this board to see this place go under. I love this place. I lost my best friend that was here working hard with me to keep this place good. So we're not gonna let this place go down. I promise you that.
Thank you. That's what I want.
Can I allow a second question?
No.
So I wanted to touch back on the pool situation.
This meeting is on the budget.
Budget.
We're talking about the budget. A lot of people want to know about the budget. So we said this is a budget meeting, and we said the question should be on the budget.
Okay, so my question is, when did we enter the contract for the pool repair? And when was the work supposed to start?
It's not related to the budget.
It's not related to the budget. We're
Thank
not
you.
answering that.
Next question.
Next question, then we said one question, not 5, 6. One question.
Thank you.
Next question, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, so it's supposed to be years from 9/11/77. Obviously, this is my fourth meeting, and every time I come, we hear from previous owners or previous people that were in the committee. But one of the lessons learned, from all the failed projects I've offered, I'm sure there's more people here that deal with multi-million projects that get lend a hand. Like I said, I've been in Northern now for 8 years. I don't want this park to go nowhere. But one of the lessons learned from all the, bad investments that we made to stop future projects. Obviously, if the budget goes through, I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of improvements, which is going to entail a lot of contractors, a lot of people. What are going to be the stuff put in place so they don't go with our money?
Okay, first of all, infrastructure, 40 years old. This bridge over here on the right-hand side of us needs to be totally replaced, not repaired anymore. 500,000. Okay, we are in the middle of working on getting the engineering. If this budget passes, we will start the engineering studies January 1st, and we'll start working on that. We have a bridge in the back that's falling in. We need to get that replaced. We have another bridge over closer to PA2 that needs to be replaced. These bridges are anywhere between $300,000 and $500,000 a piece. That's our improvements. We have 40-year-old electrical infrastructure that has to be replaced. We have 40-year-old water piping that needs to be replaced. This is the structures that we'll be working on. Once we get the capital improvements the capital improvements done, and we start working on start putting money away so we don't have to come out for these numbers again. This is an expense of mine too. This is not just your expenses. I have to pay this. I'm a volunteer here, and if you volunteer here, you want to get paid. I get nothing, and I pay for my pump outs. I pay for my beer at the concessions. I pay everything here just like you do. I do not want to see this happen. But we have to start improving this park and making improvements, or we're closing roads. Thank you.
I get that, but my thing is, how do we put stuff in place so we don't fail those projects to protect our assets? That's the thing, so a $250,000 project doesn't become a $500,000 project. That's my only question. I get that we need to repair, and that's great, but what have you learned from previous failed projects that's going to help us not fail again? I get the whole, we need to repair this, we need to repair that has the reason why the budget's going up. My question is, how do we put stuff in place, being audits, or check each other's stuff to make sure that we're not, sometimes the lowest bid is not the best until the highest bid is not the best. How do we put stuff in place so we don't fail? That's my only question.
Well, as of yesterday, I demanded, as being a member of this board, an owner of this park, that we take no less than 3 bids on everything we do from now on. We will not move forward on a project unless we have 3+ bids. We've taken that oath in the room yesterday. We will not move forward unless we have 3 bids. Okay? We will have them concealed, yes. Yeah. And we'll do, if you guys insist on coming in here on a Sunday to meet us, we'll open these bids in public. I have no problem with it. I have no problem. I live here, guys. I live here on Sundays. I love this place. I come here 7 days a week if Terry would let me, but he doesn't let me. I only get 182 days just like you. Okay? So, no, we are going to do this. This is a demand now. We'll move forward. You guys requested it. I requested it. We're going to do it. Right? Board members?
We're good.
Thank you.
This Studo, lot number 1007. First of all, I'm here for 9 years. I love this place. I'm sure everybody here does. It's like a totally different world out here, compared to what we deal with in Chicago at least. I understand that years ago, you guys came up, the people who created this place came up with tiers that got a problem with it. My issue is, I don't care if I gotta give you thousands to make sure this park is right. But to increase me in my category and somebody else who's paying a lot less than me because they were here a long time or because the property itself was categorized off of that, that to me is an issue. I don't have a problem if you came to me and said, look, fix, we need $1,000 from each person here, fix the bridges, fix the electric, fix everything. I'll give it to you. I don't have a problem with that. But my $800 a year, for the rest of the time I'm here, my place goes to my grandkids, like most of you do. Okay? How much is it going to be in 20 years from now? I understand stuff wasn't done. Everybody here understands that. But is it, when we came up with this park, correct me if I'm wrong, when we came up with the pool thing, everybody paid like $329, right? No. All right, then again, I don't use it, but I still paid it. Okay? Categories to me is wrong to increase. Me more money than somebody who bought a property that's in category 1 and he just bought it last week. That's not fair. That's the only thing I have
to say. Thank you very much for your comments, sir. I just wanted to clarify for everybody that the categories are based upon the percentages of ownership that are assigned to each of your lots, which was created by the developer at the time that your community was first created all those years ago. So when the association's board increases the budget, adopts a larger budget, every category will automatically increase based upon your percentage of ownership as it relates to the budget overall. That's how it works. So it has nothing to do with the board saying, let's raise category 1, but leave category 5 alone, or let's increase category 4, but let's lower category 3. I'm merely saying that it's based upon the percent.
You're making implying that I said something I didn't say.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with that. We understand about the category.
Okay.
No one here is complaining about it. You're talking about fixing bridges. You're talking about fixing the electric. You're talking about putting roads. My road sucks. Okay? It does. I don't care. But we don't have a problem fixing things here. Just make it fair on an increase. Okay, and I understand the category, but you gave me a bill for the pool. Why don't you give me a bill for the bridge, a bill for the streets, and a bill for the electric?
So are you making more amounts? Is that, I think, are you trying to say like, are you trying to say that you think like, if the project is $1,485, that everybody should pay $1 because there's 1,485 lots?
I'd like that too.
That's
He
what
can
it's.
explain.
Okay.
People use the road just like I do. People cross the bridge just like I do. People use more electric than I ever use here because I'm only here on weekends. I don't have a problem with that. It's about being here and having a great time with your kids and your family. That's what it's about. So if you need the money, ask for the money for what you need it for. If you need $500,000 for a bridge, then tell the lot owners we need $500,000. Everybody's going to pay an equal share.
That's fine. Thank you. Let's let him say something.
I think we should clarify. I think we should clarify that. Hang on. I think we should clarify.
It's a reasonable thought. It's a very reasonable suggestion, sir. It's very reasonable. The problem is the law requires that everybody pay their share based upon their percentages of ownership. This is what the Illinois legislature set forth in the law. This is not. Please, I'm just telling you what the law requires, which is that every lot owner pays based upon your percentage of ownership in accordance with whatever it is in your declaration. So it's not. What's that? You do. So I'll explain it.
Hang on, let him explain.
All right, excuse me. If we're gonna be yelling, we're gonna end this meeting right now. It's up to you. It's up to you. If you're gonna listen, we listen to you, you listen to us. If you're gonna comment out there where we can't tell who's talking or saying anything, we'll end the meeting right now. It's up to you.
It's fine. It's passion. It's passion. You're passionate about your community. It's great. I think it's fantastic, but let's try to be respectful for one another. Listen, the way that the law works is because you have that percentage of ownership, some lots are higher than other lots. You have a bigger say because your vote is weighted more heavily than other people's votes. I'm going to explain it. If you please listen, I'll explain. Please, I promise, I won't interrupt you. Every time you cast a vote at your annual election, it's tied to your percentage of ownership. Not everybody's vote is weighted the same. Not everybody's vote is weighted the same. Your vote is tied to your percentage of ownership. This isn't my rules. This isn't their rules. This is how the law works. This is what the law requires. So if you're paying a larger amount of dues, you have a heavier weighted vote, which means you have a bigger impact on the outcome of an election. That's how the law works. That's the answer.
What is the percentage though?
All right, so here are the percentages. So, category 1 is 0.051463. Okay? Category 2 is 0.057184. Category 3 is 0.062906. Category 4 is 0.074348. Category 5 is 0.085791. And category 6 is 0.097233. So as you can see, the percentages allocated to each of those categories increase from 1 to 6, which means the dues and the amounts that you pay are going to increase from category 1 to category 6, which also means those that are paying more dues have a heavier weighted vote than those that are paying less dues. This is not my rules. This is not their rules. This is just how the law works. Yeah, you could change.
How can we change?
You could, yeah. I was just about to.
Listen. So you're saying I have a point because I'm a 4. You're 0.7, whatever you said, right?
Okay, yeah, 0.07.
How do you take my number versus, let's say he had a 1? How do you figure that into a vote?
So
we do. Okay.
These are great questions. I'm grateful you're asking.
I'm still getting 1 vote, right?
Yeah, I'll explain it, and I'm grateful you're asking these questions. Thank you so much for asking these questions. So there's a master spreadsheet, and when votes come in at the election, Each vote, which corresponds with a lot, is weighted based upon its percentage of ownership. So let's say lot 302 is category 4. When it comes in, it's given a 0.074348 weighted vote, and that's how much it's given for that vote in that election for those candidates that that individual voted in favor for.
So the votes are a percentage, not a one vote.
So votes-
Percentage.
How do we see that percentage? I've never seen anything about percentages.
Sure,
All
sure.
I've seen is
We put it out all the
Great
time.
questions, all great questions.
All along
All
it's
great
been.
questions. Great questions. In your declaration, there's an exhibit attached to it. And that exhibit sets out all of the percentages, like this long laundry list. We redid your declaration about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
About a
and
year.
There's an exhibit attached, and I'm sure we can email it out to everybody.
It's on our website.
And it's like 15 pages worth of, yeah, that's it, right there. Please, can you show him the exhibit?
Here's the exhibit. This is,
That's the amended and restated declaration. At the end of that amended and restated declaration is an exhibit attached. Open it up, please, Jim, and show him so he can see what I'm talking about. There's pages and pages and pages of percentages that correspond with each lot. And that's what controls how much your dues are. So somebody over here had a great question. How do we change it if we want to change it, right? How do we change it? The law, again, not my rule, not the board's rule. The law says we're going to need unanimous approval. 1,485 lots is nearly impossible. Why is that? Why do we need unanimous approval? Because think about this. If category 5's percentage of ownership is going to be lowered, then somebody else's percentage of ownership is going to be coming up, right? Because there's only 100% that we can divide up between everybody. So what that means is if someone's dues are coming down, somebody else's dues are coming up. That's why it's unanimous approval. Again, this is what the law says. This is not the board, this is
My whole
not me.
statement was, the reason that I was given, and correct me if I'm wrong, bridges, electric, and streets. That is not an everyday occurrence. This is just like when we had to fix the pool.
Correct.
So why should my dues go up instead of just telling me, give me $800, it's gonna cover what we need to cover?
Sure.
You could have done a special assessment, and it would still be by percentage.
They do.
But why am I getting charged $800 for the rest of my life? For something that's gonna cost $500,000? I know I have.
Jim, you want to take that?
All great comments, all great questions. You know, you're making an assumption, which I think is probably a pretty reasonable one, but it's not an absolute, and that is that your budget is going to be this amount every year going forward, if not higher.
Okay, ready?
So, something that we've all discussed here, and Jim, chime in, I'll throw you the mic. Our intentions after this budget adjustment, we're gonna do everything in our power to not raise the dues next year.
Yes.
Hello, please. That is our intention, not to raise dues. Our intentions are to make major improvements here, not improvements, repairs and replacements.
Special assessments.
We could go ahead and we could send this out for special assessments every year, and we'll be sitting in here doing the same thing. I guarantee it. It happened last year. Thank you.
But the special assessments are done by percentages too.
Listen, special assessments are done the same way. Everything is by category. That is the only way we can collect money in this park. By the law. It's the law. Well, we can't really change the law.
Change the law. Next.
Here's the thing. Dues are going up. I'm going to use $600 roughly. I know some are higher, some are lower. Just listen out. We're giving you all year to pay that. If we give you a $500,000 special assessment, that's one payment in the beginning of the year by your category. So you're not going to get all year to pay that $600 or $800. You're gonna pay it in January. So we kept it on the budget because there's gonna be other expenses coming up every year. That's why we kept it on the budget. This is what your dues are gonna be going on. For lack of raising dues in the past, it's caught up with us. We have to do this for the park. We don't like doing it. It's something that has to be done. Now, years ago, they did a surcharge, and we could have been sued over that because it's illegal. We have to run it. So, we're doing it by the law. So, I just want to let you know that.
Next question, please.
At this time, we'd like to submit more owner signatures to the board.
65 more makes it up to 140, so therefore we're halfway.
Thank you.
And just so you know, these are by category too.
No, they're not.
They're by category.
Your lots are.
Your lots are by categories, so when you're voting for something that you're voting for, it's by category.
Let's move on.
Next question, please.
All right?
Okay, please. I hate to do this to you, but you already asked the question. Let the next person in line, please.
Take my turn.
I'm Nancy Adams,
Can't hear you either.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So I'm Nancy Adams, I'm at 927. I just have a comment to make. You know, I've only been here 2 years. The first year, I loved it. The second year, I loved it even more. The activities that we had this year were so much better than the ones that we had last year. I don't want to see that change. And I appreciate this park. I think that it is far above any of the other parks that are in the area. So for all of you who are complaining all the time, you know, I don't know if it's a complaint, have a solution. And I'm not putting a lot of solutions that are legal that we actually have control of. So I'm sure what I'm saying is not very popular, but I think that, you know, we all love this park, and we should appreciate what we have, and I don't want to lose what we have now. So it's one of the things hard about I didn't have your job, and no way, you take all the things. They're not jobs. Very nice.
Just a quick question about the increase. If it took us X amount of years of not increasing and to be able to cover the bills that we have, was there any talk about spreading it over 3 years, 5 years? There's a lot of people on fixed income, maybe giving all year to pay it, but that doesn't help some. So the question is, did you discuss spreading the increase instead of just slamming it down in 1 year, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years?
The answer, that's a hard answer to give, okay? Have we discussed stuff? Have we discussed stuff as a whole? Yes, we have. I don't know if anybody, some people go past this bridge over here on the right-hand side of me, and that bridge needs to be replaced this year. If I took that $500,000 out of the budget, that would be a little over $600,000 increase in budget. And then I'd have to go out for special assessment and the whole 9 yards. You're not getting away from paying it. You're still paying it in the budget, and we also have to do other bridges. We also have to do other streets. We also have to do other infrastructure.
How many quotes do you have so far?
Well, we can't go out for a quote because we don't have a budget for it. So we can't go.
So do you think $500,000 is a fair amount for one bridge? I think it's
We had a company come out of Morris. I'll be honest with you 100%. And if anybody wants to see it, I have the quote out of Morris that he gave us a preliminary budget for it. That's all he did. Without paying somebody to come out and do the actual engineering study on everything and do soil samples, they won't give us any kind of true numbers.
But he said not to exceed
Not
five.
to exceed 500,000.
The numbers,
Well, they are bridge builders, so that's what it's gonna be, I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, that's the way society is, nobody works for free.
How long would
okay,
that
but
take?
you're going to get at least 3 for sure.
Yes.
Yes, we will have 3 bids here for that.
I'm sorry, I just didn't hear you. Did you say not to exceed 500 is the ballpark that
Yes.
they gave you?
Right.
Yes, not to exceed.
So, Kevin, so yesterday you were saying it was decided that that you would be getting 3 estimates for everything going forward. Why was that decided just yesterday? That you're now gonna get 3 estimates, and how many estimates, it sounds like you've answered this, how many estimates have been done on the bridge that is to the right of you?
It's ongoing.
And why was I told at the beginning of this year that there's nothing wrong with that bridge, it was just repaired 2 years ago? I specifically was told.
Okay, so the not getting 3 bids before, I mean, everybody's been hammering all summer about this pool. You find a pool company out here that's gonna repair 2 big pools like this? And that would be, so from here on, we won't be doing anything without 3 bids. That's
We
it,
got
and if
3
we
bids
can't
on
do it,
the
we can't do it. Okay? So we'll pursue the 3 bid thing. And on the bridge thing, I don't know who talked to you about that.
You all, the board.
I would never say that.
You can watch back the video. You told me not to drive campers.
First of all, that bridge was not
They
done,
told me to find a different way.
that bridge was not done 2 years ago, that bridge was done 8 years ago, not 2 years ago.
And you lied at the first board meeting.
No, we never said it was done 2 years ago. I'm sorry.
We as the people will watch the video and see.
Well, we're talking about 2 different things evidently, because that bridge was done before I was president. So I know it's been, 6 years.
So it has not been repaid for the last 6 years.
Pardon?
It was not repaid.
Oh, it was repaid, it wasn't
So the
rebuilt.
person
Right.
that repaved it said it was okay? 2 years ago.
At the time, they said we'd be better off paving over it than paving around it. So that's what we tried to keep it to last
So in
longer.
less than 12 months, you decided it's going to sink and fall.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's getting worse every year. We don't have the money to replace it. So we're trying the best to work with it. And if you're not going to be giving us the money, then we can't replace it.
We'll end up close it.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Okay, please.
Next question, please.
Hi, I'm Gina, lot 1173. Are the insurance policies for our association in the office that we can look at? And if not, how can we get copies?
You have to request copies for that. There's a form that you fill out and request copies for that.
And I assume I'll have to pay for those?
Yes.
Can the attorney verify that the handwritten note, that like the handwritten things that we're turning in, those are valid as far as our dispute for the budget?
I haven't looked at them yet.
And then, I guess this is just kind of a comment to the board that is up there right now, some of which you guys have looked for myself. We keep making comments a couple times this meeting about prior boards and their fiduciary lack of due diligence, we'll say. But during your tenure, we have bought this land, which there were people at every gate. Did you vote? Did you vote? Did you vote? Do you still feel that that was a sound financial fiduciary thing that you guys presented to this association based on where we are right now with our financial budget? And the fact that we don't even have money to make a bridge safe, but we have land that is doing nothing. And I know we can't, who's gonna buy it?
Going there.
No one was ever gonna put a subdivision there, or a 7-Eleven, or a gas station, or whatever else we told everybody. So, I mean,
Well, we weren't the only person to bid on it,
well,
so I
that
wouldn't
means they
say.
wanna buy it.
But, you asked if we're still confident that we made the right decision. Yes,
Please, please.
yes.
If, anyone in the personal budget would probably disagree with you, because you don't spend money that you don't have, or you need to do other things. Because I don't know anyone else that would want to step up and ever be on this board in the current situation that it is. So, and that's a sincere thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. But,
I just want to make a comment as far as, I don't know how many people in the room here know what percentage of ownership they actually have. How many don't? Okay, so it is now in the amended declarations that they sent out as of April. So prior to that, nobody knew.
That's in the book.
Next question, please.
I don't think I'll.
Please, you've asked enough
Next.
questions. Next. Give
Thank you.
somebody else a chance to talk,
Thank
please.
you.
And it's also on our website, under the documents tab, you can open that, and that whole entire document that Jim was holding is there on our website.
Yes, sir.
I got a couple, a comment and a question. Was the I think we're governed by Illinois Homeowners Association or Illinois Condo Association.
Condo Property Act, yes.
Have we ever not registered with them? Have we always been in good standing every year?
you want to answer that one, Michael?
So first of all, thank you for your question. You don't register, you guys are a not-for-profit corporation, in addition to being a condominium association. And you register with the Illinois Secretary of State's office when you're a not-for-profit corporation. And you do that annually. And as long as my firm's been working with you guys, you have been in good standing. But when I first met with the board years ago, we discovered you were not in good standing. So we helped reinstate you so that you are now in good standing.
Which was what, to reinstate our association?
With the Illinois Secretary of State's
Okay,
office.
that requires a vote by the constituents.
It does not,
Because
sir.
the same thing happened in my subdivision, and they were required
That's
to
a home.
have a vote.
That's a
of
home.
all the occupants, if we wanted to go forward with this particular association or change our association. That was required by law. The mayor came in, the city attorney came in and required us to vote.
I would be happy to stay and chat with you afterwards to find out the details of what it is you're talking about, but for a condominium association, which is a not-for-profit
It
corporation,
was a homeowners association and what?
just so everybody understands, it's helpful to be in good standing with the Secretary of State's office. It's not hurtful or harmful at all. It's helpful to be in good standing.
If we're not in good standing, we're not recognized as an association. So you really, what you guys done is re-register us without our knowing, because you didn't notify anybody that we were not in good standing. So you guys went and re-established our association without our knowledge or our vote. So all the things that you're really adjourning on here and what you're judging on here, what you're changing the rules here, I don't think is really legal. I'm going to be done with that. I'm not going to go back and forth with you guys. With the special assessments, you said our dues on an average went up about 600, give or take from 1 to 6, correct? About 600 average between all of our, mine was a lot more, but. Okay, well, if you assessed every $14.85, $600 for a special assessment, it's $881,000. You can fix 2 bridges this year, do it again next year, and fix it, and then we don't have this in perpetual forever and ever for my grandkids.
So we're not, So you're saying we're gonna fix the bridges, but we're not gonna pay anybody's salary? We're not gonna do anything else in the park?
Budget's still there, the rest of our
No?
dues are still there. Yes, you said that our raises were for capital improvements, not for the regular day-to-day operation. Our other $1,800 or whatever you guys are paying before you raise it is gonna pay for that. This was for capital improvements, our $800, $1,000 in perpetual.
I said 500,000.
Or whatever the word.
The 500,000 was for capital improvement. Yes, that's what we said. The bridge.
And reserve, yes.
It's not a capital improvement, it's part of the budget. If it's a capital improvement, we can do that. And it'll be a one-time payment in January, besides what the dues go on.
And the raise,
And the raise.
$891, it's $600 times 1485. That's a lot more than that, but I'm just giving you that.
Thank you.
Next.
Next. Nadia, can you get a little closer?
Closer to the mic,
Nadia Miller, lot 320. Back to the land, we made a big mistake. After it was purchased, I'm sure someone knew that we needed major capital improvements to our park. We invested in that and neglected these improvements, and now we're being penalized. Sell land!
Thank you for your comment. Next.
Next question, please.
Okay, this is lots 241 and 177. We're talking a lot about budget related to this upcoming year. Capital improvements, like capital equipment, go over the majority of you. What I'm asking for is, what is the plan for future? Not just this year fixing bridges, but you mentioned water, sewer, electric. How is that going to look? We can't just look 1 year at a time. We have to have budget, and I think projections for the next 1, 2, 5, 10 years. I look at corporate type of situations. We don't do one at a time because, let's face it, the whole side of the park goes out. We have to fix it, and it's going to have to be done and paid for over the next 1, 5, 10 years. So when you say dues aren't going to go up, how do you know that? Only because you mentioned the improvements we have to do, and there will be other issues that come up that are going to be more expensive than under your operational budget. How are we paying for those?
All right, that's something that, thank you for your comments. Thank you. Something we are doing now, we've started talking about it, and we're implementing a 5-year budget. Now, should this have been done earlier? Probably, but it's better now than never. So we're starting with a 5-year budget, and then we'll increase from there. So that we know.
Transparent with the strategic plan. We can't just go this 1 year to 1 year. It's a strategic plan and the budget that go together, and we're
Well, they
all
will go
embarked
together,
on it.
yes. Thank you.
Next.
Hi, my name is Gina. I'm from 384 lot. My question is, if you do increase for next year, are you guys going to divide that for next year, like each quarter or so many months?
That's a quarterly payment.
Yes, thank you. The dues will be due next year with the increased quarterly. So your first payment will be for January, February, March, second one for April, May, June, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So you'll spread your dues out throughout the whole year.
Will there be penalties if you're late next year, since this was so unexpected?
There's always penalties if you're late with your dues. Yes,
With any bill.
yes.
Jeannie Kineski, 1148, 1440. Question about the electricity and the solar field that's on that property. It stated in your email that that will help defer the cost of our electricity. I am questioning how that is going to happen. Because when there's a solar field, it feeds into ComEd directly into the grid. To my
Correct.
knowledge, and what they stated at the Senate board meeting,
Correct.
it's not coming directly to us. It's
No.
going to the grid.
Right.
So how is that benefiting us? Are we leasing the land? Are we renting the land to
We are
them?
leasing the land.
How are we getting paid?
They are leasing.
Thank you, that's a good question. We are leasing the land to the solar company, all right? When the solar field is up and running and it generates electricity, it goes back into the grid. It's metered going back into the grid, so they know how much is going back into the grid. The solar company gets a share of that, we get a share of that, all right? They paid for the solar field. We've always said from the very beginning that it was gonna be $30,000 a year. All right?
That they give us credit
So,
for.
and they've, it should have been up and running by now, but we're under ComEd's control. They're going to get we need three-phase electric brought to the park. Now, that was $800 and some thousand that the solar company paid for. We didn't pay for that.
We didn't.
That comes out of their profits, not ours. So, once it's up and running, and it should be up and running by this fall.
They keep asking how much we're gonna get. We are paid by kilowatts.
Right.
We are gonna
Yes.
get reimbursed by kilowatts.
Yeah, they're
Okay, so it's hard to understand. I don't know if anybody has solar at their house, but you're paid by the kilowatts. So what we can put back is the kilowatts. Whatever the kilowatts are going at that time is what we get paid, and we split that with the solar people. Also, remember, this is a federally funded thing. We have to get Commonwealth Edison, the feds, we have to get Illinois, we have to get LaSalle, we have to get a lot of stuff done to get that in there, and that's what's holding us up. Right now, I'm almost 100% positive, did we get the permits?
August, yeah.
Did we get the permits, guys? Okay, I think the permits went through with LaSalle, and we're waiting on ComEd to come through now with a three-phase from all the way,
29th.
E29, they gotta come in, bring it around, and all the way over here. So right now, that's what we're waiting for, and I'd love to tell you that we're gonna be making $1 million. That would be great. But whatever the kilowatt is, that's what we get paid.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it. I
Thank you.
just never heard the numbers of how we got paid back. So I
Yeah.
wanted to-
Yeah. So again, the same thing at the top of your house, you could purchase solar, panels. You could purchase them outright, they'll pay you directly for them, or you could lease them, and then they make that determination. Thank you.
We'd like to present to the board more signatures.
Thank you.
Okay. We're gonna take 3 more questions, guys.
We're up to 200 right now. I'd like to turn it over to the attorney as well as the ones that you have, if I can have them, please. Sure. Thank you very much. After the vote for the budget, these are our petition to rescind that budget as well as any increase. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. But it hasn't been voted on.
Go ahead, please.
Sorry, I was the one that asked the specific question as to those are legal. Mike, are you the attorney? Mike,
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Will you
Yeah,
either confirm with me via email or someone that these are legal?
yes.
And how long do you think that that'll take for you to figure that out?
We'll take a look at it today.
Okay, so by tomorrow, we'll know whether we have to use a different format or if this is accepted.
Absolutely.
Hi, back lot owner 1369 and 1370, lived here for 25 years. I've been a condo owner for 30 years, my board president for the last 6 years, and I've been a property manager for 20 years. I can see the situation from all different sides. I have a 2-part question relating to the budget. First of all, is there a current reserve study that we have based on the financial and future outlook? Part A. Part B is, what steps, if any, has the board taken, knowing this $500,000, $600,000, whatever it is, increase that we need to balance out the reserve? What, if any, steps has the board or options you've looked into to make the increase more palatable for the 1,500 or so unit owners that we have here? Were there any?
No. There wasn't a study made, but you're saying to balance out the reserves. This does not balance out our reserves. Our reserves for a park this size minimum by law should be $2 million. We got 165,000 in the reserves.
Given that, for the immediate situation that we're at, you're telling everybody you're going to get almost a 50% increase in assessment roughly. I'm not, percentages are the thing. What I'm saying is you've identified, you keep saying $500,000, $600,000. What steps, if any, has the board entertained to make it more palatable other than you can pay 4 times a year? For instance, it was mentioned at the last meeting when we came up and discussed perhaps looking into taking out a loan, getting that money up front, and letting the association pay it off over a couple of years. There's one example. There's other things that can be done, and what have you guys done? And again, I don't want your job, I couldn't make myself, but what have you guys done, if anything, have you done to make it easier for everybody, given your numbers, to swallow?
Well, we've looked at other things, but this is what we came up with as the best.
That's all I have.
In the
Thank
best
you.
interest of the party. Next.
Two more.
Hi, Mary Rainey, 842. How did you guys come up with the percentages on the things to increase? For salaries, for the maintenance department, I'm showing a 207% increase. You did away with the construction and mechanic, and back to 65 by rolling last year's maintenance number. Instead, this year it comes out to $450,000. Custodial recreation, 198% increase. How many employees is that covering? Security supplies, $30,000. That's a 3,000% increase on the supply. What are those supplies? 328% increase for supplies for buildings and grounds. Pools expense, 244% increase, from 25 to 55,000. We also have budgeted $80,000 for pool management company that may not be that this year, from what I've been hearing. They should be. They should be. We need something. So,
Okay. Yeah, Mayor, on some of them percentages that you're stating, they were spread out through multiple different categories, and they're all fall under the same category. So we combined a lot of separated categories into one category now, so it's, it doesn't look like it's spread out. The mechanics went into the, I don't have my papers on that.
Into the.
So then you rolled mechanic and construction into maintenance, which is as it should be. But
Yes.
you also increased it over those two salaries that were not, you rolled it all over and increased it even more. Other increases I've seen things listed twice in 2 different categories for several different amounts. This is supposed to be about bridges and roads, but these are pretty big increases for operating expenses.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of the, like the maintenance department, I've been on this, myself, I've been on here for 2.5 years, Brian's been on for 1.5 years. Our maintenance staff was making a little over minimum wage, okay?
I'm not saying they don't deserve it.
Oh, I know, yeah. Well, so we've increased their salaries to where they are comfortable with.
No, not all of it. And we can hire others.
And we also have to hire some new staff. Our staff is 60 years old. Our staff is 60 years old. We have to start replacing them and training them on this park. So it's gonna cost us some money. Pardon me?
How many of them are you hiring if you're raising it up to $415,000? I'm not saying our guys don't earn it.
Where'd she get that?
Maintenance 415. Here. Yes, sir.
All right, so regarding the maintenance, that was, like I said, we combined, I don't have the old, maybe I can go here.
Yeah.
So we took maintenance, construction, and that's 330,000, that we combined in. There was, I don't have it in front of me, but it was basically a salary adjustment for our maintenance staff to get them to a point where we can actually start to hire people from the outside. For what's that?
How many maintenance employees do we have? How many positions? That's what she's asking, how many positions?
We're looking at bringing in, this year, we're looking at bringing on 2 positions.
For a total, how many employees in total?
That would be a total right now up there of 5,
So they're making.
with some seasonal.
Oh, can I sign up for maintenance?
Sure. Love to have you. Love to have you.
We don't take money, we do work for nothing.
Next question, please.
Last question. Can't hear you.
Target 1092. I have a question about the solar field. This thing gets constructed and this company goes bankrupt. Who's responsible for all the equipment that's out there?
They are, it's all insured, and it's all written up in the contract that they are responsible in 25 years. They are responsible for taking it out if we want that at the time and bringing it back to natural grass. It's all written up in the contract with as much as anything can be insured and everything for that. They take out the insurance policy on it.
Here, real fast. Yeah, so to answer your question, LaSalle County asked the same thing, and there is a bond that's set up for it now. So the bond will be the one that's gonna deal with it.
What's the value of the bond?
Oh, I don't know exactly. We haven't gotten that. That had to be turned over to LaSalle County. It's with LaSalle County,
It's
so that's,
from their company, not us.
yeah, it's not ours. It belongs from the company, and LaSalle County has that. But we can get you it.
One other question I have is, now that we purchased that land, does that come in as part of our condominium association?
Yes.
Yes, that will. Here.
Yeah.
Who's the solar company?
Green, G-R-N-E, solar company.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
The name of the solar company is Green, G-R-N-E.
We have some more signatures that we want to submit to the board.
Good.
We're at 150 right now. Thank you very much for receiving them, pending the vote on the budget, okay?
Got it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Last one.
We have one over here.
Hi, guys. 979 Lisette. So, sorry, 979 Lisette. I just want to recap on everyone's comments. I think this is mostly for the attorney. You said we're part of the Condominium Property Act. So according to the act, we do need full disclosure. It does say that by law, we are allowed, and we should have, copies to everything, including everything you all have voted for, because we definitely, like someone else had mentioned, the owners of the association didn't have a say-so in whether or not you guys were purchasing anything or anything was being looked at as far as any bids, which you said it was a preliminary because you have to pay someone to come out here. I've only been here a short 2 years, and from 2 years, I have met engineers, I have met contractors, I have met lawyers that actually live on this property. I also belong to an association myself. Whether you've lived here 40 years, 50 years, I've only lived at my association for 6 years, everyone is the same. Whether you need a roof,
exact amount of money. I don't feel that this is fair for any of the lot owners to pay a different amount depending on whatever tier they're on. I think that because it is made into a law, laws could be changed. There's plenty of attorneys that actually have property here, and maybe we should have that looked at, if you guys haven't thought or considered that yet. But yeah, so, and as far as the insurance, it is part of the Property Act as well. We should not have to pay for that. We should get that in writing, and it should be ours to see and look at.
Thank you. Thank you all for your questions. Oh,
I'm sorry, I just have in general about budgeting. I think the majority of us here make a budget for their families, and you're here making a budget for next year. I feel like we get things sprung upon us and are expected to pay, and that there's an inconsistency with communicating to us, and I know it's gonna get fixed soon, so we don't have to address that. But my concern is, I had to hurry up and get here last week to make my payment for the pool, before I get another $25 and add it on. Why don't we get that same grace that you're asking us to give you for next year? Why did you spring it on us and expect me to pay it in 2 months? And if not, then you pay $25 every month. I'm on a budget too. Why can't I pay it next year like you guys are doing a budget? I already had my budget set for the year, and I think a lot of people here already had their money planned out for the year. And now you spring it on us and then continue to charge us monthly a late fee. How can we not be given that same grace?
all right. I don't see where we sprung it on you. We've been talking about it since we went out for the pool in April. That there was going to be a special assessment and the amount of it. And we sent it out then in August, so it wasn't cramping you with your dues payment then. We waited till towards the end of the year to send it out. Now we have to pay it, so we had it collected. So otherwise, we couldn't have fixed the pool. All right? Thank you. All right, thank you all for your comments.
We're gonna take a short recess, and then we're gonna.
We're going to take a short recess and go into our meeting.
Okay.
There's one right there. I can't hear you. This is the new.
Can we come to order, please? Can we come to order? We want to start the board meeting.
All right.
Dave.
We're going to be starting the board meeting now, so the Woodsmoke Branch Condominium Campground Association board meeting agenda for November 5th, 2023. We're going to just start with calling the meeting to order. We did the pledge already. Roll call of officers.
Jerry. Here. Carrie. Here. Jim, here. Terry.
Here.
Dave.
Here.
Brian.
Here.
All right. At this time, we're going to ask for a moment of silence for the Reinhardt family on the loss of Bob Reinhardt. Please bow your heads. Thank you very much. We will have a motion to accept the minutes from the October 8th as printed. Somebody make a motion?
I make the motion.
Carrie makes the
I'll
motion.
second it.
Dave seconds it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes have been approved. The real estate report is next.
Borrow that? Thank you. Good morning, or afternoon, not quite sure. All right, for the realty report, during the October 2023, there was 3 closings at Woodsmoke. Money paid to the Woodsmoke Grants Association for the month was $3,332.40. During 2023, there's been a total of 47 closings, with the association ranch receiving $41,607.20. In 2022, there was 72 sales, totaling going to Woodsmoke Ranch of $58,014.56. That concludes the realty report.
Thank you, Dave. Jim, the treasurer's report?
Balance on hand as of September 30th, 2023 was $142,591.25. Total deposits for October, $135,595.85. Total expenditures for October, $193,212.44. Total on hand as of October 31st, $84,974.66. That's my report.
Thank you, Jim.
Can we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report? Jerry makes the motion.
I will second
Dave
that.
seconds it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The treasurer's report is approved.
Any names? Nope.
I do want to ask one thing. As the treasurer, I'm going to be asking for to put together a committee for the finance committee, I'm going to call it. I have 2 guys already. One happens to be an accountant. Another one has experience in this. I need 2 more people to 3 more people. Come see me afterwards, and we're going to, just so everybody knows, you will be vetted. You are going to be in finances, and you will be in our books. So there will be vetting. You will also have to sign confidentiality reports, disclosures, and we're going to hold you to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, not now.
All right. No old business to tackle, new business. All right, the first thing is the vote on the 2023 budget.
2024.
2024.
I'm sorry.
We have to approve this. The lawn maintenance.
We do that with that. All right.
I didn't see it.
All right. Yeah. All right. So we need a motion on the floor to approve the 2024 budget as printed. Do I have a motion?
Make that
Excuse me.
motion.
Go ahead.
I make that motion.
Jim makes the
I will
motion.
second it.
Dave seconds it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay,
All right.
please.
The next thing we're voting on is the motion to initiate legal action against Central Pool Restoration and Service for breach of contract to enforce and release of its lien and recover damages that occurred by the association.
I'll make a motion for that.
Second.
Jerry makes the motion for that, seconded by Jim. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
The lawn maintenance.
We're going to.
Okay, lawn maintenance.
Okay.
You gotta do the
We are also voting on our lawn maintenance agreement. This is a 3-year agreement for our lawn maintenance. We've moved it up to the beginning of the year, to start in the beginning of the year instead of where it was. It was a little backwards, so. And we going with 3 years, and it's going to all be for the same price it's been for the last 2 years. There are no increases in it. This is going to help the company Bushwhacker to purchase new equipment and knowing that he's going to have the work for 3 years to pay it off.
And keep
So
our rate low.
he's done a great job for us for the last 5 years, I think it's been. So,
Did you get bids on that?
yeah, no, we didn't get bids on it. And we don't have to get bids on somebody that's doing work for us that we're totally happy with.
Is he an owner?
Is he an owner? Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. First of all, excuse me, first of all, this part of the meeting is the board meeting. You don't get to ask questions during this part of the meeting. All right?
It's a conflict of interest.
It is. So, anyhow. All right, so it's a 3-year commitment for $30,000 a year. I'll take a motion on the floor to accept.
I accept it.
Jerry accepts it.
I'll second that.
And Dave seconds it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays.
You wanna vote on accepting these?
Yes. We had a board member resign. Let's see if I can get this. I figure it's only proper to let everyone in the Woodsmoke community know that I have stepped down as one of your board members. I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for your votes and your support. It's been a great run. 12 long years, and I've seen a lot of changes, all for the good. You're all in good hands with the president, vice president, and great human beings on this board. Great memories and great friends I've made. You all have meant so very much to me through the years. Again, thank you all for your support, but it's time for me to enjoy the park as the best I can, and thank you, everyone. Ray Bauer.
Thank you, Ray, for your years. Thank you. You have to vote on it, accepting it.
Need a motion to accept.
Yeah. All right,
You need a motion to accept.
to accept his resignation.
Yes.
All right. Now that I've read it, we need a motion to accept his resignation. So I'll entertain a motion to accept it.
I motion that.
Dave Owens, seconded. Brian, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. You want to do?
Do you want to do it?
I'm in tip. All right. At this time, the board would like to make a motion to accept a replacement
To fill the term.
to fill the term,
Remaining term.
which is until May of this year. So that we're running with a full board because we need the help, all right? And we're voting, we're asking that we accept Jaime Tapia as the new board member.
You need to make a motion.
You need to make a motion.
I need a motion.
I make a motion to accept.
I'm going to make a motion that we
We gotta make a motion first, Jaime, hold on.
Yeah, I make a motion, we accept Jaime as our new board member. Seconded by Jerry. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Welcome, Jaime! I give you a chance, I think we're out.
Jaime, come on up.
Get up there.
You can have my chair. You can have my chair.
Now, are we sure, Jaime, you haven't changed your mind, have
Really? After this?
Ryan, you can have my chair.
Yeah.
There, you can have my chair. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Chris.
Congratulations, Chris.
Your chair.
Welcome aboard. Sorry you had to come into the situation, but
Yeah.
you'll be do good. I make a motion to adjourn.
you?
Second.
Motion made and second for adjournment. Thank you all for coming. So moved. Motion, meeting is closed. No, we don't ask questions now. You asked all your questions.